Welcome to another episode of Live Nation Urban Presents Meet the Founders. I'm your host, Brandon Pankey, and today it's more than an honor. I'm not gonna lie to you. This is just amazing to have the founder, the CEO of Tina Farris Tours, Miss Tina Farris. She is a big sister to me. She is a wonderful person, a wonderful woman, someone who is revered in the live music space and live content in general. So excited. You got to, if you crack right now, what are you doing? Hello, Tina.
Together.
How
I am doing well. I've been on Zoom calls all day on my phone, so I had it all set up for the phone. I didn't realize I couldn't come on live. My computer, I didn't know I could come on live on the phone, so sorry.
Don't admit that in real life. You could have kept it to yourself. So let's kick this off.
Who uses Instagram?
Right? That's what I say. Well, I don't even put in this now. I ain't got time for this right now. I'm not doing this with you. Tina Farris, walk us through how you got started in the music industry to where you're at today as the founder of Tina Farris Tours. No parts. I want to hear the story because people need to hear it, particularly coming from a Black woman. Please.
Okay, I started as a bass player. My grandfather was a producer for Motown, and I used to visit him backstage all the time on the road. In fact, that's the only time I saw this particular grandfather. No Christmases. It would be Smokey Robinson concerts or a golf course. I didn't know that I wanted to do this. I didn't know that that was a part of my makeup, but lo and behold, it was. I met the Roots. They were my favorite band back in 1994.
Wow.
They came and visited my school like most people who were fans of the Roots. They saw them when they came and visited their school because they were on that circuit. And
What do you mean? Cool. Visited your school? You taught?
No, visited my college. Yeah, I was at UCLA, and they did the college circuit. I know a lot of people now because the Roots went and they visited their college circuit. That's where you get your money from early on, right? Like if you can get on that college circuit, you're guaranteed a nice bag. And for a starting bag, it's a wonderful thing. And so I met them there and I befriended them. And I was the LA John that they would send out for errands when they came to town. And I graduated from UCLA, went to grad school. I still kept that friendship, still went to every show every time we came to LA, San Diego, or anywhere in the California area. As I was teaching during grad school, I went to visit them or travel wherever they were during spring breaks or any school break.
Okay.
And final school break in '99, I stayed there for like 2 months in Philadelphia. I traveled Europe with them. And Sean G and Rich Nichols were like, you might as well stay. Even enough. Do something. No. But that's how it started. And Sean, president of Live Nation, Urbans, acquired more artists. I was the go-to tour manager. I was created, like we were all created. It wasn't like something we knew how to do.
Right.
I was created in a sense to multitask and have multi-artists because that's what we were doing in our hub. So at Motive Records, we had a bunch of different artists. And with those different artists, it started setting off what would become Tina Farris Tours, which is me being everywhere at the same time.
So who were those other artists that added, let's call it Sean G crew into Live Nation Urban from, just Roots? Who were some of the other artists that you worked with?
Jill Scott, Jazzy Fat Nasties. We did Black Lily from producing a Black Lily in France and in the UK. Then went on to whatever Amir was doing. I was everyone's assistant. I was Tariq's assistant when he was on a movie set. I was Questlove's assistant when he was out with D'Angelo.
Right.
Moved on to D'Angelo. When Sean G acquired Queen Latifah as a client and they wanted to do Sugar Water Festival, then I was the Sugar Water Festival, tour manager. So it was by hook or crook. It wasn't like I knew how to tour manage a festival, but Angie was showing up going stretch my skill set. Like, Yeah, do that one too. Let's do the OK Player Tour and have 7 tour buses and roll up with Dead Prez and Guru and everybody else and do one of my most favorite rolling festivals of all time. Um, and so,
So
yeah, and we learned how to sink or swim based on just the sheer desire of getting our sector of the music industry out into the world.
So for those that don't know, because you're talking about it, I learned how to tour manage as if that's something you can just do. I think there's people that have a certain skill set that allow them. What exactly goes to being a tour manager? Why have you been so successful?
I am very bossy.
You are.
Love logistics. I like to put a square into a circle.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I love live events.
Mm-hmm.
I love to see music in a show, and I mean a show. I don't mean like my grandfather was with Marvin Gaye from the beginning until the end. Like I want to see a show.
Mm-hmm.
I love to execute the show, and I'm probably, much to the chagrin of many managers, a little more on the artist side than I am on the manager side. But it depends on what type of tour manager you want to be.
Right.
I'm creative. I'm going to give you notes. I'm going to watch the show every night. I'm going to get on your nerves, but I like to see a beautiful show, and I like to see the artist live his biggest, wildest dreams. I'm a psych major. I would say do some of that because that's helpful because you are, managing people's lives and their moods, and it takes a lot to be an artist and get up on a stage and give your all, and at the sake of everyone judging you. You know what I mean? You got to have a lot of chutzpah to believe you can be up there and not get booed or get a tomato thrown at you. So I'm there to veer off my potatoes.
Right.
Help you live your best life and hopefully have a good time along the way.
So what does that mean? Talk us through what are some of the, what does a tour manager do on the road? We're booking a tour. We hire Tina Farris Tours or Tina Farris to be the tour manager. What does that mean?
So first, I'm like, how'd you book this tour without talking to me?
Right, because you're bossy. You said
book the tour where it makes sense money-wise and how we're going to travel. So when I teach my classes at Berkeley, I'm like, just think about how you go to school every day or to your job. You set an alarm and you wake yourself up and you give yourself enough time to eat, dress, shower, travel, get there, finish your day, pick up your check, whatever you have to do to get the check, right? So when you're a tour manager, it's the same. All of that still applies. I got to give my person enough time to get there.
Mm-hmm.
So I wake them up to get there. I got to get them there. So I arrange the transportation to get them there. Wherever I'm waking them up from is their lodging. So I've got to make sure they have the lodging that's going to encourage them to get up, to
Mm-hmm.
get transportation that encourages them to continue. And then I get them to the venue. I work in tandem with a production manager.
Mm-hmm.
And that person is setting up whatever the facilities that are needed so
Right.
that we're encouraging the same artist to get up on the stage, sing, make him as comfortable as possible so that we pick up the check at the end of the night. So whatever goes with that is what I have to do.
So why is it to work in tandem with the production? Your job is logistics. Let's get them on the plane, hotel, on the tour bus, and back. Why does it matter that you're the production manager? What's the point?
Production manager is the person who sets up whatever the artist is performing on. So he's at the menu, right, which we call a writer. And he's in communication with the venue so that everything that requests, whatever artist needs, he has it on that stage so he can execute.
Right.
Then also work with said venue to make sure my audience gets in and can see my artist at the height of his or her performance, their performance. And so when I say that's my ace, that's who I work in tandem with. We can't have one without the other. I'm always amazed when somebody's a tour manager and a production manager. Shout out to Bill Reeves. It's amazing to me that you do both and your brain thinks that way. I've tried it a couple of times. All right. But then I just have a really strong stage manager to help me out.
Right.
But yeah, it's really important to have the team to facilitate the needs. And I'm a big believer in a plan B. I know a lot of people are very much into plan A, and you have to plan it, and that's how it happens, as if it's just going to happen because you planned it that way. As we know, artists are human beings, as our production managers, as our tour manager, as our bus drivers, as our truck drivers, as officers who might pull you up. You know what I mean? There's always something that gets in the way of that perfect plan that you've laid out. So I believe in a strong plan B and a strong plan C, and just having the mind to adjust gracefully
Mm-hmm.
of a problem when it occurs, and to believe that it's going to occur so that you're always ready to action it.
Right. You are one of the Roots Picnic, right? And you've also helped to produce festivals. For those that may ask me for comp tickets and think that, it took us a month or two to plan this festival, can you talk about how long it takes to plan a festival, what goes into planning a festival as well?
Um, a lot of it takes a strong creative outline, right? Um, what is it? What is your theme? What is that you want? What is the experience that you want your audience to have? You know,
Mhm.
it's easy enough to book artists, right? You get enough money, you can book whoever you want to book, right?
Right.
Um, but one of the issues is, of course, having enough money, and
Mhm.
Panky to help us figure that out. But the other, and it's testing me right now as I'm doing festivals online, are people to really have a strong creative. The creative can take forever to draw out of whoever um, the producers who are idealizing the festival are. But when you have a strong creative and you know what you're doing, then execution is, you call this person, you call this person, it costs this much, and away we go. Um,
Mhm.
so the beauty of the Roots Picnic is we were already doing Black Lilies. We already had our squad. We're already the best band in the world, and everybody calls us to back them up. So, you know what I mean? We had to have a solid ideology for it. And we have a strong enough brand where you want to be associated with people who rip and perform like that. You know what I mean? Like the track record of the Roots is from the corner of South Street and the Jimmy Fallon show. Is like, who else has done that? Now it's set up so that you know how to do it too. Like, oh shoot, this is what I can be. I can do this late night show, or I can do, bands come and go, but like we just seem to linger on. So having that type of branding is really solid versus I just have an idea that I want to do a flower picking show, you know what I mean? And I want it all to be about flowers. Well, which flowers? And how are you going to showcase these flowers? And who wants to sponsor flowers? you know? So I say this to say definitely festivals take 2 to 3 months to plan,
Mhm.
right? Some of the other festivals I worked on. Roots crew, my squad, like we can get it cracking in a month. I'm sure of it. You know what I mean? Like we can turn it around, but it's mostly because we have a strong creative and we have a strong brand.
Yeah.
So, um, yeah, for others, it might take them 6 months to a year to plan something out, but not really. Like it'll take you 2 to 3 months to do this. Did that answer?
That answered my question perfectly. I want to dive more into Tina Farris Tours. Can you talk about just the range of clients that you've had, and have now?
I've had the Roots for that's my mainstay. And that's the type of music I like. I ventured in, well, I love Jill Scott, so
Mhm.
that, as I acquired, uh, in early 2000s, not everybody had the type of tour manager that I was. So I found that I had to imitate myself over and over again. So Tina Ferris Tours is born out of necessity,
Mhm.
not necessarily something I was like, ooh, I want to manage people. And
Right.
that wasn't, I don't know what I wanted to do actually.
Right.
It came the way it came. And so from there, the only way to go was to expand. And so I got, I was doing talent producing for a festival, and I met Lil Wayne's squad. And we met Lil Wayne before because he came to the side of the stage in Miami. And I remember Cortez was like, "Yo, y'all are dope. Y'all know, y'all just play everything. There ain't no backing track." Like, nah, there ain't no backing track. And I could see his wheels moving. So when I saw him again at the Voodoo Festival, he was like, um, let's bring you on, right? Sean was working with them. Again, wherever Sean G goes, I'm like over here. So I picked up Lil Wayne. Now, funny enough, I didn't listen to Lil Wayne. I was like, I don't know one song he sings. Nah, I think I knew one song Chris Rock used in his opening, but that was it. And so I was able to watch the show come to life because he's so charismatic. I was like, oh, this guy could perform in the middle of the 7-Eleven. You know what I mean? It wouldn't matter. We don't need all of this because he's just that dope.
Right.
It was the America's Most Wanted tour, and that was when all the babies were there, when Drake was a baby and Nicki Minaj was a baby, everybody was a baby. And from there, for the second one, I did Nicki Minaj. Now, in between those, Wayne took some time off. I acquired Fergie, and then Fergie, and then the Black Eyed Peas had a bigger album. So then I went out with the Black Eyed Peas. So it's kind of like the same thing. Once you get in somebody's squad, they're like, "Oh, okay, well, can you do this one too?" And I said yes to everything.
Right.
Like, from there, I toured the world with the Black Eyed Peas, one of the biggest tours I've ever done, arenas, and they were cool. Like, I found that I don't like arena tours that much. You know what I mean? Like, that's not my favorite. That's not where I feel that the artist gets to be who they want to be, especially when it's about backing tracks and, all of the things you need to make an arena tour an arena tour. At least not how hip hop and some other genres do it. Like Dave Matthews live in an arena, and that shit is the freshest shit ever. Like, I'll do that arena tour because he gonna stay to the, you know what I mean? He gonna do his thing.
Right.
But with, I've said this before and other things. I don't like time code. I don't like all of the things it takes to support. So then I switched and went back to the people that I like. So now I do the Internet, who is like my favorite band in the world. And then the Internet, since I'm part of their squad, then I do Sid, and then I'll do Steve Lacy. You know what I mean? So that's how it happens. I do Solange. I've done Solange in and out of that camp, and Anderson .Paak. But if you notice, and Miss Hill, of course. I do people I like. The only person I didn't know that I liked until I got in it. But if I listen to it and the music has a pocket, I'm generally a manager on it. And because of that, funnily enough, my taste is the same as a lot of other people's taste, right? We all have the same taste, at least my squad. And so from D'Angelo, I met Alan Leeds, and he became a mentor and helped me on my path of being a critical tour manager who loves to make the show. Alan tour manages Chris Rock, so I was able to come and help Alan on some Chris Rock shows because that was his squad. I also did Maxwell with him. Chris Rock listens to all the same music. Dave Chappelle did Block Party. We all listened to the same music. So now I do Chris Rock too. You know what I mean? It's all very incestuous isn't the word, but my network is my network, and I'm gonna go. Cool. And I like.
What'd you say?
And I like my network.
We love your network, Tina, and I think that it's a testament that you're able to work with people that you love, and they actually. I think it's a testament to who you are as a person and just the level of work ethic that you have. I've seen it. I've grown up watching it, so I mean, I'm humbled that that I could be a part of it in some small.
Grown up, 35. I don't know what you're talking about.
Watch yourself. Watch yourself. You got one more. So let's talk about Tina Farris Tours. Hold up. other young tour managers. And I think about this because I think about Nikita and Marche, and I think about others that really come up under you.
Yeah.
And they are young, they are Black, they are women. You know, why is that important? And I know how hard you are on them, but the fruits of your labor when I see them on their own tours, on their own gigs. So I want you to talk about that for a minute, why that was so important for
Um, it's not just young Black women. I know that's
you.
important. Also,
Narrative. Go ahead.
I
Go
mean,
ahead.
I don't want to leave anybody out, particularly because Jamil Davis is so huge. I gotta get a shout out on that. Like, what? I'm not leaving
No, actually, I just
Davis,
need to.
Bobby Shelton, who now does Cardi, Andre, Dominic Keska, who's pivoted and now does live events for marketing companies. Sarah Diebel, who works for Red Light Management, and Jen Tolman, Vector Live Nation, who now just started her own company. I am hard on people because the industry is hard on Black people. You know what I mean? Especially Black women. I have had I don't know how blessed or who shined their light on me for me to be able to work for Black men consistently. But every time I deviate, I get mad. You know what I mean? And I see like, oh, people go out on you. Like they target you. They try to get you to mess up because they don't believe in you. They think that you're lucky to get here. I can't tell you how many panels I've been on when it's like an afterthought that my bands, because they're not in theaters or on arenas tours, that it's a scale. You know what I mean? But whatever. Like half the time the money's the same, it's really important to me because I want us to be in the room all the time. I want us to have the opportunities, and when I'm brought to the table and I work so hard and I get so knocked down, and I mean by anybody on the Live Nation too. You know what I'm saying? Like people have their vision of who's supposed to be here. I don't mean Live Nation Urban. I mean, come on, we can talk about it. Like people act a kind of way. Patriarchy is everywhere. It doesn't stop just because you're the promoter. Like that's when it turns up. And the same with racism. And so it was important to be not only surrounded by people that I don't have to have that extra, this might be racist. You know what I mean? Like it was important for me to bring them into a loving situation like I had. Like the Roots and Sean G and Richard Nichols, like that is a family unit. And being surrounded by all Black people there's a comfort that, is different. That's all. Like, yeah, I can poke holes and, oh, this company likes to hire white people because white is right, or this company likes to hire this. But, we can do it too. And I don't need their table. I like this table. I like to be at the table that, Sean G and the Rich Nichols and the people have created. Because when you try to get to their table, then it comes with a whole bunch of other stuff that I don't feel like being bothered with. So it's important for me to be hard on Geraldine and be hard on Marche. Just because, like your parents, I'm like, they ain't gonna give you nothing. You got to work 10 times harder and da, 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 da. So you might as well take that from me. And then when you get there, you won't be surprised.
Right. Message. What's coming up for Tina Farris Tours? Because we have to wrap it up, unfortunately. Because I'm gonna do an hour with you next time because you got a lot of knowledge. And there's like 5 questions.
Is just finished wrapping up producing with Maori. Homes for Black Stars, one of the best experiences. If you think working with Black men is cool, wait till you work with all Black women. Woo! That was amazing, and I'm so proud of she called me and being on her team. Movement for Black Lives. I did Juneteenth, producing the bridge for the Roots YouTube. That's been a blast because that's really what I want to do is bring all of these artists in the diaspora. I want us all to be able to tour in the diaspora the same way we tour in Europe, the same way we tour in Western civilization. I want us to be able to see our own shit. I am helping to produce Afro Planet, as well as Girl Trek Festival. So it's a busy fall.
Dope, dope. Well, congratulations on best, Tina. I love you. You're the best. And we're gonna bring you back because I do have like 5 questions that I haven't asked you, unfortunately. But thank you for being Tina. Yeah, I can't hear you. Thankfully.
I said, why is it only 30 minutes? Y'all make the show. You make it up.
Because it's 30 minutes because Brandon has a Zoom right now. And, I
He's
also have
always
to
trying
work.
to slide stuff in.
So, this has been an episode of Live Nation Urban Presents Meet the Founders. I'm your host, Brandon, and Tina Farris. Thank you so much, Tina.
Thank you, Brandon.
Goodbye. Goodbye, everyone.